styles that are most seen in businesses. Family business just tends to be a little more intense because you have relationships that are multi-layered.
The planning that the families that you talk to, that are really, when they really think about it, wealth really consists of at least 5 things. First of all, wealth is
We don't even have to leave our homes. In an economy like this, what we offer and what we sell has become a commodity.
Well, I'm here with Dr. JoAnne Norton, who will be our speaker in January at our workshop here for the Family Business Council. First of all, JoAnne, thank you very much for being with us today and welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Our pleasure, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
Thank you very much, and happy holidays to our viewers and our members as well. The topic that you've chosen for the January workshop is how siblings and cousins can work together in a family business. Why is that such a hot topic in family business?
The reason I wanted to talk about how siblings and cousins get along together is because so many of our members are in exactly that situation. We have many family members from the first to second generation, the second to the third, and the third to fourth. And what we do in the sibling and cousin generations affects all of the family business for the rest of time. So I thought this would be the perfect topic. And there's another reason. Just last week I got back from the Family Business Consulting Group meeting in Chicago, and we had the opportunity to talk about continuous continuity planning, which is something that my colleagues and I have really talked about how we're going to help families last for many more generations. A lot of research has been done on this, a lot of writing, and I'm just ecstatic about getting the opportunity to share it with our members. So there are 4 tasks that you have in here if you are brothers and sisters in business together. First of all, you have to become an autonomous team independent of the parents. One of the first things I started having at Freedom was we would always have G4 meetings. Once a year, I would take them to a wonderful retreat place, and we would study 2 things: family business, what was the best to do in family business, and the second thing was everything I could teach them about the newspaper and the television industries. I would take them to Gastonia, North Carolina, and let them be in the newsroom and put together their own newspaper. You have to take the initiative as successors. Believe me, your parents are waiting for you to do that. Sometimes when I hear, well, we haven't had a family council meeting yet, and Dad feels a little guilty about it, Dad, it's not always you or Mom. It's the children who need to come to you to say, we need to start getting together. And no offense, Mom and Dad, but we really don't want you to be in there. Just my cousins and I, we need to learn how to work together.
Based on that, what do you think some of the biggest challenges are that families face? We've talked about how so many businesses don't make it to the next generation, or if they do, and in this particular case, you have a father and a son, or a mother and a father who pass the business on to their kids. What are some of the pitfalls and challenges that are faced, and why don't they succeed when they get to the next generation?
Many times they don't realize what it is that they all want to accomplish. Stephen Covey said to begin with the end in mind, and many times I think I know what I have in mind, and so I assume that it's the same thing that you have in mind, when that is not true. So making sure that they have a vision that everyone buys into, it's just critical for the family business to succeed, for everyone to understand that.
Okay, so do you think that one of the challenges that, let's say a mom and dad pass the business on to their kids, one of the big challenges might not be that it wasn't mapped out well enough for them when they handed the business off to the children? Is that one of the big pitfalls?
That's one of the big pitfalls, because many of them don't have time to have family meetings. And so we're going to talk about what the latest research says about family meetings and their importance. And we're always going to talk about relationships, because in the end, that's what it's always about.
Absolutely.
Those sibling relationships can have drastic effects on businesses. And sometimes the little things that moms and dads do inadvertently cause huge problems later. So we're going to give all of our members some of the tried and true tricks of the trade, things that make it work.
There's a tongue twister for you.
That was
Exactly. What percentage would you say of family businesses are now currently run by siblings or cousins?
We know that about 30% of family businesses make it from the first to the second generation, so about 30% are run by siblings. But we know that about 16% of them make it to the cousin stage. So making sure that siblings are getting along and with each other, and then that they are getting along with their cousins, that's a crucial part of the success of the family business.
So some cousins see each other other than just on Thanksgiving and Christmas, but have to work together every day as
Yes,
well.
they do.
Okay.
And many of them are very lucky for that.
Right. Any idea within our membership of about 50 members or so, how many of our companies that you've worked with that are not family-owned, they all are, but are run by cousins or siblings?
Many of them are. Many of them. I would guess probably about half.
So if there's a business that's starting out right now with two brothers, for example, what kind of advice would you give to two guys who are getting ready to start a business together?
Endings are important. And one of the first things I would recommend is to talk about how are we going to decide when this business is over or when we're going to pass it on to
Kind of an exit strategy, if you will.
You've got to have an exit strategy. Same thing why you would have to have a buy-sell agreement. That's really one of the most important things you can put into place. How are we going to get out of this thing that we've so carefully put together?
It's interesting because I've been talking to our members since I've been here with the council, and that's one of the first questions I ask is, what is your exit strategy? What are your plans? And it's amazing how many businesses don't have one. They're not sure. They don't really think in terms of, what do you mean we might not be doing this in 20 years?
That's right.
Any challenges, any big, if there's one big takeaway that you'd like for the group to take away in January from this workshop that we're going to do with you, if there's just one aha moment, what is it that you'd hope that they would take?
I would want our family members to understand how important family councils are, family meetings, for them to come together. Because what happens is, if they get angry with each other in the business and they don't get to see each other except during the holidays, then that's when they're going to explode. Where if they knew that, hey, every quarter we're going to get together, or every month we're going to get together, and I'm going to have the appropriate time in the appropriate place to discuss those things, that's what would be really, really worthwhile.
Excellent.
So we're going to talk about how to do that. We're going to talk about families who didn't do that and what happened. And so it should be fun.
Excellent. Now, when I first met JoAnne, she was with Freedom Communications. I'm assuming there might be a few case studies or things that you learned when you worked at Freedom that could be applicable to our members.
I certainly did, and also I've been working with family members and family businesses all over the United States and Canada now. Plus, I have the advantage of just having spoken to my colleagues from the Family Business Consulting Group who work with family businesses all over the world. So I've got some great stories, Ed.
Great to have you here today.
Thank you.
Again,